Is everyone familiar with the movie Megamind? Yes, the one with the big and blue head. Imagine living in an advanced metropolis that has cutting-edge infrastructure in the heart of American West Desert, with precisely designed highways and streets crowded with self-driving electric cars. A metropolis with the size of New York, the connectedness and efficiency of Tokyo, and the sustainability of governance of Stockholm. A crazy multi-billion-dollar project to build a futuristic metropolis with the same scope and aspiration as the Line in Saudi Arabia. Today, we'll dive into the future city of Telosa, America's version of the Line. In addition to being the city of future, Telosa is a planned community that aims to set a brand new standard for how society should operate. These proposed megacities are a solution to the unforeseen problem of today's society, such as overcrowding, pollution, and climate change, and they are remarkably similar in name to only megaprojects like Saudi Arabia's NEOM. The goal of these future cities is to rethink what it means to build a vibrant city from the ground up that is intended to be inclusive, resilient, sustainable, and egalitarian for all its citizens. Telosa is a name derived from the ancient Greek word telos, which basically translates to the greatest purpose. The megamind of Telosa is an American billionaire named Mark Lohr, and the plan was publicly disclosed in September 2001. Lohr made the bold announcement to build the proposed metropolis of Telosa soon after resigning as president and CEO of American retail giant Walmart. He hopes to build a more equitable and sustainable future that may serve as a model for future generations. For this inspiring endeavor, the world-famous Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, who was previously hired by Toyota to design a smaller smart future city in Japan, will oversee Telosa's master planning. According to Lohr, building a city around the needs of the citizens is the fundamental idea underlying Telosa, and the reason it is being created in the first place. Currently, cities are home to more than 50% of the world's population. By the year 2050, this number may increase to as high as 70%. Because of this, cities now act as important gateway for research, education, and employment opportunities for millions of people. And while cities have helped a small number of people experience significant growth, not everyone immediately benefits from this advancement. It is precisely this wealth gap that Lohr and Telosa are attempting to close. The objective is to create a city where everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status or cultural background, would have equal opportunity for development. The core of the strategy is an economic system called Equitism, which aims to realize this goal of equality. This concept is designed to build a society where residents would benefit directly from urban development. Under this system, Telosa will be the sole owner of the city's land, and its residents would be allowed to build and sell structures on top of it. The idea is that the city expands, so will the value of the land. The money raised will subsequently be used to finance public services, transportations, education, and healthcare throughout the city. By having equitable access to high-quality services for all residents, the quality objective may be realized. Will Telosa ever be able to attain equality? Since humans have struggled for millions of years to realize this ambition, will it finally happen now that Telosa has been proposed? Let us know your opinions in the comment section. The final location has not been decided, but the people behind Telosa aim to develop the city on desert land in the American West in the states of Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, or Texas. Another option is to build the metropolis someplace in the Appalachian region in the east. But why are they intending to construct Telosa in the midst of a desert when there is so much space available in the United States? Let's find out. The fact that undeveloped land is inexpensive and widely accessible in the American West is one of the primary explanations for this decision. Furthermore, if the city develops over time, this inexpensive property may end up paying for itself, thanks to Telosa's proposal to invest rising land prices back into municipal services. A busy metropolis in the middle of a desert isn't exactly the best or most wise project, even though the land on which Telosa will eventually be built may be available for a reasonably low price. Recent development in Saudi Arabia on the Line and NEOM has amply demonstrated these issues that Telosa may also face in the future. NEOM's development is already running behind schedule. It was initially intended to be partially finished by 2020 and built upon in 2025. It turns out that in order to build on undeveloped desert terrain, operating facilities must first be built in order to shelter construction workers and their tools in a harsh environment. High heat, water scarcity, and the energy effect of building a new city from scratch in a difficult climate are some other issues that NEOM and the line are now dealing with. Telosa is likewise expected to be entirely powered by renewable energy sources. Each building in the city will have solar cells put on its rooftop, and Telosa will also be powered by wind turbines that have been positioned in strategic locations around the city's borders. The city is designed to produce more electricity than it needs, making it self-sufficient in terms of generating electricity. More so, you will find the heart of Telosa is the Equitism Tower, the city's highest building and an iconic landmark that will act as a beacon for the city. The tower will feature an observation deck, an elevated water storage system, and aeroponic plants that will provide the city with fresh vegetables. Telosa's structure takes into account an urban planning and transit system that enables inhabitants to always be within a 15-minute commute of important destinations and amenities including offices, schools, parks, stores, and restaurants. Telosa will utilize a combination of precisely designed transit networks and autonomous electric cars, in contrast to the line, which will be entirely pedestrian-centric and prioritize public transit. The city will use the superblock urban planning idea, wherein heavier traffic is focused over the perimeter of the block, while cyclists and slow-moving EVs will be given preference on inner roadways. By doing this, two objectives are accomplished. First, individuals may walk between blocks with ease, and second, residential neighborhoods are sufficiently far from busy streets to minimize noise pollution. Telosa's construction will be completed in two phases. The first phase's completion date of 2030 is a monumental undertaking. At this stage of construction, the city would have the capacity to house up to 50,000 people over an area of 6 square kilometers, or nearly twice the size of Central Park in New York. After it is finished, the second phase of the development will take 40 years to finish building the rest of the city. By this time, it is believed that the metropolis would house over 5 million people, covering an area of more than 120 square kilometers. Telosa will be similar in the size to San Francisco that will accommodate more than 6 times as many people. The total cost of the project is anticipated to be up to $400 billion, with money mostly coming from possible private investors and federal and provincial subsidies. The line in Saudi Arabia is thought to cost around $500 billion, and unlike Telosa, it is entirely financed by the Saudi government and sovereign wealth fund. Mark Lohr and his team must overcome one of the main challenges with the development of planned communities like these: funding, in order to realize Telosa's extremely ambitious plan and vision for the future. It is not precisely simple to persuade the government and private investors to lend you billions of dollars to accomplish a vision that might not be completely realized. Even though Telosa claims to be different and that its citizens would be at the core of the city's growth, a sizable number of money will still be required before this ridiculous megaproject can even get off the ground. However, despite all the mounting environmental and financial difficulties, and the fact that more than a year has passed since the project was first announced, Mark Lohr and his team remains optimistic and committed to achieving their goal of creating the most inclusive and sustainable city in the world by the year 2030. What do you think Telosa would be able to do differently compared to NEOM? Do you think Telosa would ever be completely built? Let us know in the comments down below. If you want to learn more about Saudi Arabia's The Line, which has recently started construction, you can check out our video about it. Megamind's fictional metropolis. Will it become real? Or is it all in the mind? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you haven't already, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons and activate the notification bell. We'll be back soon with another video all about luxury.